Hey, this is chapter 4, The Law of Intentionality. I'm James Ortiz, leadership trainer, and I'm here to help you develop into the leader you aspire to be. Growth doesn't just happen automatically, it takes daily intentional work. I went most of my life just kind of wishing my goals would become a reality. And most of the things I went for never really happened because I never had developed a growth plan. I remember as a single guy, a few years back I came across this podcast by PBD. Shout out to PBD podcast. Great content. It was about him and his experience, sharing his experience about finding a wife. I remember he shared this book called 101 Questions to Ask Before You Get Engaged. And he also mentioned that he wrote down 5 things, 5 non-negotiables his wife must have even before finding his wife. Right. So I went ahead, I listened to that and got the book and I started to work through. First, it looked like 25 to 30 different things my wife must have. Worked all the way down to the 5 non-negotiables, 5 things she must have, otherwise it just wouldn't work. And I did that very intentionally to the point that I started to ask myself and learn how would I carry myself as a married man? Very different than a single guy, right? So, sometime after, picture this, right? I'm at the Miami International Airport, coming back from to the U.S. from a trip back home in Nicaragua, and I'm having a coffee with a friend who I haven't seen in 14 years. And I remember that we're having a great conversation, and little time, not too long after, we figured we had some interest in each other. Maybe it was a second date. I brought up the non-negotiables. I said, hey, listen, if you're serious about this, if you have a vision for a family, we want to discuss what that vision looks like for you and what it looks like for me. Very intentionally. This is the second date after not seeing each other for 14 years. And I remember that I brought out my 5 non-negotiables. I say, hey, this is what you must have. If not, let me know. I don't waste your time. You don't waste my time. I also remember bringing out the book and say, hey, if this is gonna work, we have to go through this 101 questions and really figure it out if we're a match for each other. Again, very intentional. Today, a few years later, we have a 1 year old and another baby on the way. But how did I come about finding a wife and building a family? Very intentional work, right? Again, growth doesn't happen automatically, but it takes very intentional daily work. So whatever goals you have, first you have to make sure your vision and your values align, so there's no discrepancies there. Then you have to build a growth plan. How are you going to get there? What steps you need from 1 to 5 in order to get there and accomplish that goal? This is my personal love story I'm sharing with you. But this principles transfer, intentionality transfer onto not just personal life, but work and business. So one more time, don't miss it. Make sure you have a vision that aligns with your values. Make sure you have a growth plan, steps 1 to 5, 1 to 10, on how you're gonna get there, and then just go out there, be bold, be courageous, and make sure you take that next step. And that might be outside of your comfort zone, but step forward and move forward. I love you guys. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Facebook. They're going to be somewhere around the screen here. For a lot more content to come, it's going to be very powerful content. It's going to help you develop into the leader you aspire to be.